Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. My name is Naveen, and today I will be taking you through CAT, NMAT, and other MBA exams, Quant Part 2. So we'll be looking at quantitative aptitude questions. Basically, we are going to look into topic of arithmetic and see what are the different types of questions we get in different exams. Well, the topics remain the same, but the level of difficulty change. Since this is the part 2, so I would really advise each one of you to go through part 1 as well. You will be able to see that in the channels list. Of course, Victor, you can, but you have to study a lot, right? So the first question, now this is an IFT question. A granite stone has been purchased to build the kitchen platform and dining area of Mr. Kumar's bungalow. The cost of the stone varies directly with square of its weight. The stone broke into 4 parts whose weights are in the ratio 2, 4, 7 and 11. If the granite stone had broken into 4 equal parts of weight, then it would have led to a loss of rupees 73,600. What is the actual cost of the original granite stone unbroken? Well, it is given that the cost of the stone varies directly with the square of its weight. So right now, if we add all of this, this is going to be 6 plus 18, 24. So 24 is the weight right now. This 24 breaks into 2, 4, 7 and 11. So the cost of these will become 4, 16, 49 and 121. So what is the total cost that you will find? So if we add this, this is 20 and this is 170. So this turns out to be 190. 60, 70, 80, 90. Right. Question says if it had broken into 4 equal parts. So 24 if broken into 4 equal parts, each part is going to be of weight 6. So the cost here will be 36, 36, 36 and 36, which is going to be the sum of all the 4 broken parts cost, which is 36 into 4, which will result in 144. Now, as per the question, it says there is a loss. Of course, there is a loss. There is a loss of 42. Right? Here it is given that there is a loss of 73,600. So question arises कि 42 का कितना times is 736? है ना? Since this is a question based on ratio, so we'll have to extrapolate. We need to see the magnifier. We need to see the multiplier. Right? So ये कितने times जाने वाला है? So if we add 84 to this, this will become 840. No, it will become 820. Hold on. (42) into what? It's not 42, no, this is 46. Sorry, this is 46. So question is 46 into what? Now this is going to be 46 into 10 is 460 and 46 into 6 is 230, which is 6. 16 times होना चाहिए? नहीं? Is it going to be 16 times? चेक कर लेते हैं. 460 and 46 into 5 is 230 plus another 46. So this is 6, 13, 7, 736. So if this becomes 16 times, actually it's going to be 1600 times. So the question is, what is the actual cost of the original granite stone unbroken? So the original granite stone, it weighs 24. So that means its cost is going to be 24 square into 1600, right? So 24 square is a number which ends in 6 into 1600 will be a number that ends in 600. 0000, 6 into 6 will result in a 6. So I don't have to calculate all the digits. All I have to do is check the last 3 digits, where the last 2 digits are definitely 2 zeros. Okay. Next one. This is a CAT question. Similar question, broken down, ratios, use, proportion. देखते हैं इसका level क्या है. An alloy is prepared by mixing 3 metals A, B and C in the proportion 3:4:7 by volume. The weights of the same volume of metals A, B, C are in the ratio 5:2:6. In 130 kg of the alloy, the weight of the metal C is going to be how much? Right? So this is again a very straightforward question, and I believe ये बहुत ही recent question है ना? Okay. Metal C. See, the weights are in the ratio 5:6, right? So 130 kg में A का weight is, this is 13, right? So 50 kg. That of B is 20 kg. And that of C is 60 kg, right? And this is the weight. And if I talk about the volume, this is in the ratio 3:4:7. So we need to find out the weight of the metal C. Acha, it's weight per volume. So the volume is constant, right? तो हम लोग वॉल्यूम सेम कर लेते हैं. This is a total of 14, right? So 14 and 6 we are supposed to have. ठीक है, ये सिंपल ऐसे कर लेते हैं. टोटल वॉल्यूम 14 ले लेते हैं. 14 का 6 times. That will be faster. We don't have to now get into weight per volume. Let's not do that. Simple. The total volume, the ratio in which they are mixed is 3:4:7, and this is the total volume, which is 14. Or if 14 into 5 gives you the weight of the first alloy. 14 into 2 gives you the weight of the second alloy. 14 into 6 gives you the weight of the third alloy. तो 130 में हमारे पास 14 into 6 आ जाएगा. ठीक है. Third, a box contains, now this is a question from XAT. A box contains 6 cricket balls, 5 tennis balls and 4 rubber balls. Of these, some balls are defective. The proportion of defective cricket balls is more than the proportion of defective tennis balls, but less than the proportion of defective rubber balls. Moreover, the overall proportion of defective balls is twice the proportion of defective tennis balls. What best can be said about the number of defective rubber balls in the box? So you can see that this question looks more like a probability type question, where, you know, it looks like a probability. It's not. It's basically a fraction based question. Okay. So we have cricket balls, and then we have got tennis balls, and then we have got rubber balls. The number of cricket balls we have is 6. मैं ये 6 ऐसे balls draw कर लेता हूँ. The number of tennis balls we have is 5, and the number of rubber balls we have is 4. Okay. The overall proportion of defective balls is twice the proportion of defective tennis balls. So, suppose in cricket balls, which is a total of 6, these are the number of defective balls. C defective. So that means non-defective we will have would be 6 minus C in the case of cricket, 5 minus T in the case of tennis balls, and 4 minus R in the case of rubber balls. Right? ये आपके non-defective है. Now, as per the question, it says the proportion of defective balls. So, how many defective balls do we have? C plus T plus R. This is a fraction. This is out of how many balls? So, this is 6 plus 5 plus 4, which is 15. It is given that this is 2 times the proportion of defective tennis balls. So, this is T upon 5. If we solve this, we will get C plus R is equal to 60 minus T, which will give us 5T. So this is the relationship between the number of defective cricket and rubber balls with the number of defective tennis balls. Then it is also given that the proportion of defective cricket balls is more than the proportion of defective tennis balls, but less than the proportion of defective rubber balls. Now, for this, it is given that proportion of defective cricket balls, so that is C upon 6 is more than the proportion of defective tennis balls. So tennis balls is T upon 5, but less than the proportion of defective rubber balls. So rubber balls is R by 4. Ab idhar, what I am going to do is I am going to put in the values. Say T cannot be 0. If I take T is equal to 1, then C plus R is supposed to be 5, right? So C plus R is going to be 5. If I say T is equal to 1, so we have 1 by 5 there. 1 by 5 se bada chahiye. Now 1 by 5 is 0.2. C by 6 should be more than 0.2. So if I take C as 1, it will not make sense. So C has to be 2. If C is 2, this becomes 2 by 6, which is going to be 1 by 3, which is 0.33. So this is 0.2, this is 0.3 bar. And if I take R is equal to the remaining, C was 2, so R is going to be 3, isn't it? So if I take R is equal to 3, this turns out to be 0.75. Ye sense banta hai? Okay. Keeping T as 1, what if I take C is equal to 3? If I take C is equal to 3 now, 3 by 6 will become 0.5. And because I have taken C as 3, then R has to be 2. If I take R is equal to 2, 2 by 4 is also 0.5. 0.5 is not greater than 0.5. So this will not work out. Taking C as 3 and R as 2. And please understand, these are number of defective cricket and tennis balls, so you can't take them as fractions. So ye ek possibility hai. Can we have another scenario where T is equal to 2? So if T is equal to 2, we will have C plus R is equal to 10. अब आप C को कितना भी कर लो, R को कितना भी कर लो, the sum of the denominators is 10. So even if I take C as 6, I can't take more than that. R is going to be 4. 100%, 100%. So ये एक sense नहीं बनेगा. So from here, can we say that the number of defective rubber balls in the box is exactly 3? This is the only possibility we have. Non-defective, though I have written it, but it was not used because nowhere it was mentioned. But as a precaution, I had already written it down. So you can see that IFT question was very straightforward, little calculative. CAT question was also straightforward, but you have to use common sense because if you start solving it in the regular way, it will be lengthy. So I was like, a total volume 14 hai, and weights ka ratio per volume is given. So multiply kar do. Common sense, no? Volume into weight per volume. So that gave us the answer pretty quick. The proper approach was not used. The XAT question, it was pure substitution of values. This was not hit and trial, but patiently starting by putting a value of T as 1, can't put 0, and then putting in ek ek karke. Okay? So XAT mein there is no formula that I can use. There was no concept as such involved. Whatever conditions were given, all we had to do was put in there. So this is the difference in the level of difficulty of questions when you attempt an IFT. This year there is no IFT, CAT and XAT. NMAT and SNAP is going to be much, much easier than these. Yes, Abhi, they do. Fast calculation, you have to, you should be very good with multiplication table, first thing. You should be good with powers. 2 power 2, 2 cube, 2 4, 2 to the power 5, 2 to the power 10, 2 to the power 12, 7 to the power 4, and so on. And the next thing, you should be good with fractions from 1 by 2 to, anything by 20. 16 tak minimum. So if somebody asks you what is 3 by 16, you should be very quick with it. 0.1875. Okay, XAT ka question now. Let's see which topic it is from. 6 drums are used to store water. 5 drums are of equal capacity, while the 6th drum has double the capacity of each of these 5 drums. One morning, these 3 drums are found half full, 2 are found 2/3 full, and 1 is found completely full. It is attempted to transfer all the water to the smaller drums. How many small drums are adequate to store the water? So, since we are talking about 6 drums, तो हम लोग कर लेते हैं 1 2 3 4 5. So 5 drums are of equal capacity, and then we have a large drum which is twice the capacity. Now what should be the volume I can take? I can take a variable, I can take a value here, but here I am going to prefer some numerical value. Okay, hold on. So it says half and 2/3. So the denominators is 2 and 3. So what I will do is I'll take this as 6 liters, 6 liters, 6 liters, 6 liters, 6 liters, and this one as 12 liters. Okay. Now the next part is 3 drums are found half full, 2 are found 2/3 full, and 1 is found completely full. This can be completely full, right? There are going to be 3 possibilities. I hope you guys will agree. First possibility is that 12 liter is half full. Second possibility is 12 liter is 3/4 full. And the third possibility is that 12 liters is completely full. ये 3 cases हैं, because if you count the number of drums, we have 3 drums, 2 and then 1, 6 drums. Out of these 6 drums, 1 drum is included. It's never mentioned that those 3 drums, whether they are those smaller ones or one among them larger, right? तो हमें ये नहीं पता है. So we have to consider all the cases. If you look at the first case, when this one is half full, so this is going to be having 6 liters. Okay? 3 of them have to be half full, 2 of them to be 3/4 full, and 1 to be completely full. So एक तो ये हो गया, बाकी 2 ये हो जाएंगे. So this is going to be 3 liters and 3 liters, that is another 6 liters. 2 of them is going to be 3/4 full. Now 3/4, okay, not 3/4, it's 2/3. भाई मैं सोचूं कि why did I take 6 then? Yeah, so 2 of them are going to be 2/3 full. So 2/3 of 6 liters means we will have 4 liters and 4 liters. That is going to be 8 liters full. And then 1 of them is going to be completely full. That is 6 liters. Chalega? 2 2/3, 1 full, and 3 half full. That half is from there. If we count the total volume, this is going to be 6 into 3, 18, 18 plus 8, which is 26 liters overall. 26 liters would mean we will need 4 smaller tanks and the 5th one. So minimum 4 to chahiye honge, right? It says 3 but not 2, 4 but not 3. 3 or 4, depending on which drum had how much water initially, we can clearly see that this is more than 4. 5 but not 4, this makes sense. 5 may be inadequate depending on which drum had how much water initially. So it's between D and E. Now let's look into the next scenario when we will take 12 liters to be 2/3 full. एक काम करते हैं, ये वाला केस लेते हैं. When 12 liters is completely full, we will have the maximum volume, right? So this is 12 liters plus 3 of them being half full. So 3 of them being half full, that is going to be 9 liters. Plus 2 of them is going to be 2/3 full, that is going to be plus 8 liters. So this is 12 plus 8 plus 9, 17. That is 29 liters. 29 liters with 6 liters capacity, ये 5 से तो कम होगा. So can we say we need more than 4 but up to 5? Beyond 5 is not required? So 5 may be inadequate will become wrong. D is our answer. So this question looked like to be a question of time and work, but it was not. It was a basic question on ratios or capacity, right? We don't have to check the third scenario. आप ही सोचो सबसे बड़ा वाला container अगर full है, then the volume that we are going to get overall is going to be the largest. So 29 liters is the largest one. Yes, Omkar, I know, Jatin sir. So 5 but not 4. Okay, next one. Two pipes A and B are attached to an empty water tank. अब time and work लग रहा है. Pipe A fills the tank while pipe B drains it. If pipe A is open at 2 p.m. and pipe B is open at 3 p.m., then the tank becomes full at 10 p.m. Instead, if pipe is open at 2 p.m. and pipe B is open at 4 p.m., then the tank becomes full at 6 p.m. If pipe B is not open at all, then the time in minutes taken to fill the tank is. Okay. We don't know the efficiencies of pipe A and B. So let's talk about efficiency of pipe A being A, pipe B being B. Efficiency का unit क्या होता है? It's the amount of work done per unit time. So here would mean how many liters it is filling. Okay, so liters per hour ले लेते हैं. ठीक है? We'll convert it into minutes later on. So in the first scenario, it says pipe A is open at 2 p.m. और 10 बजे भर जाता है. So can we say it works for 8 hours? And pipe B is open at 3 p.m. and it empties it and 10 p.m. पे. So 7 hours pipe B is working. Since A is filling it, so we will take plus, and since B is emptying it, we will take negative for it. Negative efficiencies exist because this is referential. Positive means कुछ fill हो रहा है, empty means कुछ खाली हो रहा है. Right? And eventually, since it's getting full, so we know that A is going to be greater than B. Now, next case, it says if pipe is open at 2 p.m. and pipe B is open at 4 p.m., then the tank becomes full at 6 p.m. Yani ki the filling wala pipe was working only for 4 hours, while the emptying wala pipe was only working for 2 hours. Then also it was getting filled. So simple say. Can we say A if it works for 8 hours and B if it works for 7 hours? The amount of water poured in and out together by both of them is same as when A works for 4 hours while B works for 2 hours. इसको rearrange अगर अपन करें, we will get 4A is equal to 5B. So A becomes 5 and B becomes 4. So A 5 है और B 4 है. Which means if I put 5 and 4 here, so it becomes 5 into 4 plus minus B into 2. So this is 20 minus 8, that is 12 liters is the capacity. Now question is, if pipe B is not open at all, so 12 liter 5 के efficiency say these many hours somebody is going to take. Now 12 by 5 hours is nothing but 2 hours. 2 hours यानी 120 minutes से ज़्यादा होगा. कोई नहीं. 2/5 of an hour. Now 2/5 of an hour is going to be 24 minutes. 2 by 5 into 60. So 2 hours and 24 minutes, which is 120 minutes per 24 minutes, which will result in 144 minutes. Right? So answer आपका हो जाएगा D. So they will take a total of 144 minutes when pipe A is only working. Okay. IFT ka, so it's going to be a little calculative. An overhead tank which supplies water to a settlement is filled by 3 bore wells. First 2 bore wells operating together fill the tank in the same time as taken by the third bore well to fill it. The second bore well fills the tank 10 hours faster than the first one and 8 hours slower than the third one. The time required by the third bore well to fill the tank alone is. So IFT ka, so it's equation based, or you can start using the options. So let's use the first option. third Borewell takes 9 hours. ठीक है, third, second, first. If third one takes 9 hours, the second Borewell takes, it fills the tank 10 hours faster. 10 hours faster मतलब ये तो नेगेटिव हो जाएगा. See, third one takes 9 hours, तो उससे 10 hours कम होगा ना. So ये तो सेंस नहीं बनता. Right? It has to be minimum 10 for third. Minimum 10 क्या? उससे ज़्यादा ही चाहिए. Otherwise, how can you subtract 10? Right? If the value is less than that. Next option लेते हैं. Third one takes 12 hours. So second one takes 10 hours less, which is 2 hours. And oh, sorry. The second one takes 10 hours faster than the first one and 8 hours slower than the third one. Okay. तो ये मैंने गलत कर दिया. वापस से ट्राई करते हैं. First option A. If this takes 9 hours, then the second one takes 8 hours more, which is 17 hours. And this is 10 hours faster. So that means first one takes 27 hours. Now, as per the question, जो पहले दो का together है, that is 27 into 17 divided by 27 plus 17, this should turn out to be 9. Well, 27 plus 17 is going to be 44. 27 into 17 is not divisible by 44. So 9 to nahi hoega. Right? Let's take the next scenario. First, second, third. So third takes 12 hours. Sorry, third takes 12 hours. Then the second one takes 8 hours slower. So this is 20. And it is 10 hours faster. So the first one is 30. Together for first and second should be 12. Let's see, 30 into 20 divided by 30 plus 20, which is 30 into 20 divided by 50. It is 12. So B. Right? Using options, this was much faster. If I start using variables, I'll have to deal with 3 variables and 2 equations. पहले से रेशियो आएगा, सेकंड वाले में पुट करेंगे, एक्चुअल वैल्यू आएगी. So let's use options. 12. Next, Somesh, Tarun and Nikhil can complete a work separately in 45, 60 and 75. IFT, so calculative hoga. They started the work together, but Nikhil left after 5 days of start and Somesh left 2 days before the completion of the work. In how many days will the work get completed? Well, let's take the total work to be the LCM of 45, 60 and 75, which I think should be 450. 450 bhi nahi ho payega because that's not in the table of 60, right? 900. So 900. So what will be the efficiency of Somesh now? Somesh's efficiency is going to be 20. What about Tarun's efficiency? It's going to be 15. And what about Nikhil's efficiency? So this is going to be 12. 750 plus 150. Now these 900 units we are supposed to complete. They started the work together, but Nikhil left 5 days after the start. So that means they were working initially for the 5 days. Then Nikhil left. That means S and T were working. Nikhil to gaya. Now S and T were working for how many days? We don't know. पर वो उतने ही दिन काम किए and then Somesh left 2 days before the completion of the work. When Somesh leaves 2 days before the completion of the work, that means Tarun was alone working for 2 days. अब यहां से आपको ये D की वैल्यू आ जाएगी, right? You will be subtracting the first term and the last one from 900 and then divided by 35. 35 tells us that 7 तो होएगा ही, right? So this is going to be 20, 30, 40, 47 into 5. 47 into 5 is 235. And then we have another 30. So 265 is what we need to subtract. If we subtract 265, we will have 635 divided by 35. This is what D will turn out to be. 5 से दोनों divisible होंगे. So this is going to be 127 by 7, right? So this is going to be 10 से ज़्यादा हो रहा है. I hope there is no calculation mistake. It's not. So we will have 7, 126 we have, right? 126 ka matlab 18. So 18 1 by 7 we will have. Now 5 days originally and 2 days, 7 days more they have worked. So if we add those 7 days, 18 plus 7 will become 25 1 by 7, option A, right? Okay. XAT ka question. You can see the length. X, Y, and Z are 3 software experts who work on upgrading the software in a number of identical systems. X takes a day off after every 3 days of work. Y takes a day off after every 4 days of work, and Z takes a day off after every 5 days of work. Starting afresh after a common day off, X and Y working together can complete one new upgrade job in 6 days. Z and X working together can complete 2 new upgrade jobs in 8 days. Y and Z working together can complete 3 new upgrade jobs in 12 days. There is a full stop. If X, Y, and Z together start afresh on a new upgrade job after a common day off, exactly how many days will be required to complete this job? Okay. We need to understand the pattern here. X works for 3 days and then he takes an off. He works for 3 days and he takes an off. It's like X is giving his attendance. X is present for 3 consecutive days. 4th day, chutti marta. Again, X comes back to work. He is present for next 3 days. He is again on leave on the 4th day. Right? If we talk about Y, Y works for 4 consecutive days and he takes an off. He works for 4 consecutive days and then he takes an off. If we talk about Z, he works for 5 consecutive days and then he takes an off. He works for 5 consecutive days and then he takes an off. ठीक है? Individually, don't try to relate. Okay. The first statement tells us कि एक upgrade job. So what is that upgrade job? Let's write J, whatever that is. This can be completed in 6 days when X and Y are working. Now, if I talk about 6 days of X, so can we say X is going to be present for first 3 days? Chutti marega. 4 days ho gaye and another 2 days. If I talk about Y, Y works for 4 consecutive days. He takes the leave on the 5th and he comes back on the 6th and the work gets completed. So looking at this, can we say we have 5X plus 5Y? 6 days में दोनों का एक छुट्टी बनेगा बस. Okay. The second one, Z and X, they need to work, but they are going to work on 2 new upgrade jobs. So we are talking about 2J here. So if Z works for 8 days, so Z ka 8 days mein for the first 5 days, he is going to be working 6 day chutti, and then 7th and 8th day Z is going to be present. If we talk about X, X is going to be working on the first 3 days, he will take a leave, he will work on the next 3 days, he will take a leave. 8th day pe khatam ho gaya, X was not present on the 8th day. That's not our concern. So this results in 7Z plus 6X, that is equal to 2Z. I will have to hide myself because I believe further you won't be able to see the equations. If you talk about the third one, 3 new upgrade jobs in 12 days. देखो अब इस 3 को ना आप ये मत करना कि 1 new upgrade job in 4 days हो जाएगा. That will be wrong. Don't do that. Because the order of anyone taking leave, it changes. right? So 3 times the same job, y and z. So y will work for 12 days की बात कर रहे हैं ना. So y will work for the first 4 days. He will take a leave. That is 5 days. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's what y is about. Let's talk about z. Z is going to be working for the first 5 days. He will take a leave. 6th day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 6th day. So if I look into this, we can say that this is 12 में से 10y plus 10z, right? From here, now we need to find out the ratios, or we need to find out the values of x, y, z, relative values. ठीक है, तो इसको हम लोग कैसे कर सकते हैं? Let's take j as certain number. Let's take j as 10. मान लिया कि जॉब जो है वो 10 है. ठीक है. If job is 10, then from the first line we can say 5x plus 5y is equal to 10. That results in x plus y is equal to 2. From the second one, we can say 7z plus 6x is equal to 2 into 10, which is going to give us 20. We can't simplify this. The third equation gives us 10y plus 10z. This is equal to 30, or this results in y plus z is equal to 3. So we have these 3 equations and we need to find out x, y, z की values. तो मैं एक काम करता हूं, मैं थोड़ा सा hit and trial कर रहा हूं. ठीक है. If I take x and x as 1, z as 2, y as 1. X as 1, y as 1, z as 2, x as 1, z as 2. 7 into 2, 14 plus 6, 20. तो हिट एंड ट्रायल से कितना जल्दी आ गया. नाउ क्वेश्चन इज अ न्यू अपग्रेड जॉब, यानी कि 10 यूनिट्स दे नीड टू वर्क ऑन, राइट? सो फर्स्ट डे x is going to work, y is going to work, z is going to work. Second day x is going to work, y is going to work, z is going to work. Now x finishes 1 unit, right? Y finishes 1 unit and z finishes 2. So this is a total of 4 units. Second day x finishes 1, y finishes 1, z finishes 2. So this is another 8 units हो चुका है. अपन को 10 करने का. So can we say next day पे nobody is going to be taking the leave because x will take the leave on the 4th day. अभी तो 3rd day चल रहा है. We need to finish only half the work. So x will finish his half, y will finish his half, and z will finish his half. So a total of 2.5 days is required. 2.5 days are required. Right? 2.5. Now, next. So, sorry. This looks like, this is a question from TSD, right? Leaving home at the same time, Amal reaches his office at 10:15 a.m. If he travels at 8 km per hour, and at 9:40 a.m. if he travels at 15 km per hour. Leaving home at 9:10 a.m. at what speed must he travel so as to reach office exactly at 10 a.m. So ratio का usage है, right? So if he travels at 8 km per hour and then he travels at 15 km per hour, since distance covered is same, or we say it's constant, so if the speeds are 8 and 15, so the time will be 15t and 8t. So there is going to be reduction of 7t. 8 की स्पीड से जब जाता था जितना टाइम लगता था उससे 7 कम लगेगा when he travels at the speed of 15. Now question में it tells us कि 8:15 में he used to reach, then he reaches at 9:10. So this is definitely a reduction. कितने का reduction है? 9, 10 to 10, 10. And then we will have 10, 15. So somebody who reaches at somewhere at 10, 15, but suddenly reaches at 9, 10, he is there early by 1 hour and 5 minutes. So that is 65 minutes. Right? अच्छा, sorry, it's not 9, 10, no, 9:40 ऊपर है भाई. मैं सोचूं कि क्यों नहीं आ रहा. So 9:40 to 10:15, how many minutes is that? 20 plus 15, 35 minutes. Sorry. Now this makes sense. So T becomes 5 minutes. If T becomes 5 minutes, that means 8T will become 40 minutes. बोले तो somebody who reaches somewhere at 9:40 after traveling for 40 minutes, this guy must have left his home at 9, ताकि इसकी स्पीड यहां पे रही थी 15 kmph. Okay, now we know the speed, we know the time, we can calculate the distance also, but the distance is not asked, right? The question now says if somebody leaves as 9, 10 और भाई साहब को 10 बजे पहुंचना है, so instead of 40 minutes, this person now should take 50 minutes. So what should be his speed? So same logic, 40 and 50 ka ratio is 4:5. So 15 and x ka ratio should be 5:4. So this should be 12 km/h. It's all about practice, guys. 15 by x is equal to 50 by 40. आप इसको solve करो, आपको x 12 आ जाएगा. So D becomes your answer. ठीक है. Next. Two friends, Ram and Shyam, start at the same point, at the same time. Ram travels north at a speed of 10 km/h, while Shyam travels straight east. Ram at 10 and Shyam at twice this speed. So this is 20. After 15 minutes, Shyam messages Ram that he is just passing by a large telephone tower. So एक telephone tower से pass करते हुए गया. And after 15 minutes, Ram messages Shyam that he is just passing by an old banyan tree. So 50 minutes के बाद old banyan tree. After some more time has elapsed, Ram and Shyam stop. They stop at the same point of time. If the straight line distance between Ram and Shyam is now 50 kilometers, how far is Shyam from the banyan tree? Assume that Ram and Shyam travel on a flat surface. ठीक है. So we don't need that drawing. तो मैं अपने आप को hide कर लेता हूँ so that I will have enough space. Okay. देखो, Ram starts in this direction and Shyam starts towards the east. They start at the same time and they stop at the same time. और Ram की जो भी speed है, Shyam की speed is twice of that. So can we say in the same time, whatever distance Ram is going to cover, Shyam is going to cover double of that? As in, if Ram has covered L distance, Shyam would have covered 2L distance, such that the meeting point, when we join their end points using a straight line, this turns out to be 50 kilometers, right? So what is going to be L? Of course, since it's north and east perpendicular to each other, we can use Pythagoras theorem and we can say L square plus 2L ka whole square is equal to 50. If we solve this, we will get L is equal to 4 और 1 5. So this is under root 10. Right? So 2L will become 2 under root 10. Okay. So this is something we understood. Now if the speed of RAM is, ठीक है, अब ये देखो, speed of RAM is 10 kilometer per hour, right? And if you remember, we are talking about the banyan tree. So banyan tree जो है वो कितना दूर है? So can we say this distance that Ram has covered was in half an hour? So distance the Ram has covered up to the banyan tree is half an hour तक 10 की speed से it has covered. This will result in 5 kilometers. So 5 kilometers. 10 kilometers is the total, route 10 kilometers is the total distance. ये 5 kilometers पे जाके banyan tree है इधर. So this is where the banyan tree is. Now the question is, how far is Shyam from the banyan tree? So again we will have to use Pythagoras theorem, where one side is 2 under root 10, one side is 5, और आपको hypotenuse निकालना है, which will result in 5 square plus 2 under root 10 whole square का whole under root, which will give us 4 and 10, 40, 25, 45, नहीं sorry 40, 2 under root 10 का square, no? 4 plus 40 plus 25, under root 65 I am getting. Oh, sorry, this should be 50 square. No. Why am I sochung, why am I getting such a small answer? Okay, so it's not root 10 actually. So we will have 2500 divided by 5, which is 500. 500 becomes 10 root 5. Koi dikkat nahi. We will change this accordingly. The other thing doesn't change. So this is going to be 10 root 5. So this hypotenuse is going to be 5 ka square plus 10 root 5 ka whole square ka whole under root, which is 525. After 50 minutes, Shyam messages Ram. And after another 50 minutes, Ram messages Shyam. So half an hour later, Ram messages Shyam. That is just passing by an old banyan tree. ठीक है, so that means Ram passed that distance after half an hour, and speed of Ram is given as 10. So that is 5 kilometers. If we talk about Shyam's, फिर से वही गड़बड़. This is 20 now. What am I doing? I'm making very silly mistakes. L is 10 root 5, so this should be 20 root 5. So 400 into 5, 2000, 2025. 2025 का अंडर रूट होता है 45. So I'm thinking इतना कम क्यों आ रहा है? The options are, options are quite lot. 30s, 40s में. Under root 525 is even less than 25. So 45 matches, right? So 45 is the answer. So this is not a question on TSD. This is a question on geometry, where we have to use Pythagoras theorem twice. Where in the one case, the ratio of the two sides were given and the hypotenuse was given. In the next case, बाकी दोनों values given, the hypotenuse was not given. Shortcut for which one? This question, Vrinda, if you are asking, yes, you can use a shortcut. The amount that I have written, this was for an explanation part. If you can solve or you can write down the equations directly, तो ये आपके लिए जल्दी हो जाएगा. लेकिन count करना पड़ेगा. The thing that I have written down, this is something that you will have to think. So देखा जाए तो shortcut as in the approach will remain the same. It's all comes down to how much you are writing down. Okay. So that was the 10th. Okay, 11th. Ramesh and Sohan start walking away from each other from a point at an angle of 120 degrees. Okay, so Ramesh and Sohan start working away from each other from a point at an angle of 120 degrees. So ऐसे ले लेते हैं. Let's say this is 120 degrees. Ramesh walks at a speed of 3 km per hour. So this is Ramesh at speed of 3 and Sohan. So Sohan walks at the speed of 4. What is the distance between them after 90 minutes? 90 minutes means 1.5 hours later. So obviously 1.5 hours later, Rohan must have completed 4.5 kilometers and Soham must have completed 6 kilometers. So we need to find out the distance between them. So आप ये समझ सकते हो कि this question is again based on geometry. There is nothing TSD over here apart from speed and time is given. That's it. है ना? So how are we going to solve this? So we have a triangle with 120 degrees and between them and one side being 6 and another being 4.5. So this can be solved in one simplest way. Okay. Sorry about the figure. This is not being very accurate. ठीक है. 120. This length is 4.5. This length is 6. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a perpendicular such that I have a right angle triangle here. Bada wala. And inside also this becomes a right angle triangle with the hypotenuse being 6. So this is 120 degrees. That means this is going to be 60 degrees and this becomes a 30 degrees. So it's a 30, 60, 90 right angle triangle. Out of which opposite to 90 if you have a 6. So this is going to give you a 3, half of that, and this becomes 3 ka root 3, 60 ke opposite wala. Now if you look at the entire right angle triangle, the largest one, we need to calculate the hypotenuse where one side is 3 root 3, the other side is 7.5. So if we use Pythagoras, we will have 3 root 3 ka whole square plus 7.5 ka whole square. That's what this length will be, right? So this is 27 plus 7.5 is 75 ka square, which is 7 into 8, 56.25. मैं approximate कर लूँगा इसके बाद 70, 83.25. So we are pretty sure that it's going to be root 81 is 9. Root 83 will be 9 point something and it's going to be closer to 9 than to 10. So 9 ke closest we have option A, which is 9. Sorry, option C. We have option C as 9.12. That's the closest one to 9, right? ठीक है. Next, a train traveled at 1/3 of its usual speed and hence reached the destination 30 minutes after the scheduled time. On its return journey, the train initially traveled at its usual speed for 5 minutes, but then stopped for 4 minutes for an emergency. The percentage by which the train must now increase its usual speed so as to reach the destination at the scheduled time is nearest to. So since it's talking about 1/3 of its usual speed and then ठीक है. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, suppose this is the distance that it is covering. So this is towards and this is the return journey. While going towards, normally उसकी speed होनी चाहिए थी 3. Okay, this is the speed. If you are confused, I'll write 3s as the speed. Okay. And he used to take certain time. but instead of 3s and t, 3s की जगह he took s time. Why? Because sorry, s, he travels by s speed because it's given he travels at 1/3 of its usual speed. So 1/3 of 3s s. तो अगर ये s speed से चलेगा तो टाइम 3t हो जाएगा, which means he used to take t, now he takes 3t. So this is an increase of 2t time, and that increase in 2t time is given as कि वो 30 minutes इसी कारण से late हो गया, delayed. So that is 30 minutes. So that means t turns out to be 15 minutes. If t turns out to be 15 minutes, it means कि पहले ये ट्रेन 15 minutes में डिस्टेंस कवर कर लेती थी. इस दिन the train took 3t, which is 45 minutes, that is 30 minutes late, 30 minutes more. On its return journey, now let's talk about the return journey. Return journey के लिए I'm going to draw the figure again. So now it's returning. The train initially traveled at its usual speed for 5 minutes. देखो 15 minutes cover करना था, 5 minutes for 1/3, 5 minutes for the next 1/3, and 5 minutes for the last 1/3. So while coming back, initially it took 5 minutes, और usual speed से जा रहा था ये, right? It's given, it travels at the usual speed. 3s पे 5 minutes, that means now that the train is going to be here. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 3 equal parts. Okay. But then it stops for 4 minutes. Stop. The percentage by which the train must now increase its usual speed so as to reach the destination at the scheduled time is nearest to. अब इसको ये टोटल कितने टाइम में कवर करना था once the train has covered 5 minutes का journey. The train was supposed to cover this one in 10 minutes. But because it stopped there for 4 minutes, the same distance the train now has to cover in 6 minutes. Right? The question is, by what percentage the train must now increase its usual speed? तो simple सा ये logic है कि at the speed of 3s, train was supposed to cover 10 minutes में certain. So if it wants to cover in 6 minutes, so कितना होना चाहिए? Inversely proportional, right? Speed and time are inversely proportional. That's why we took 3s and s and t and 3t. So same thing. So if I say that this speed is ks here, ठीक है, मेरे को s मैंने extra लिया हुआ है so that you guys can keep track of which one is the speed out of the given pair of things, right? So from here, can we say 3 by k is equal to 6 by 10? Inverse चलना है ना? 3s अगर वो 10 से चल रहा था तो वो ks स्पीड से उसको 6 चलना है. So k turns out to be 10. So the question is, by what percentage should it, नहीं 10 नहीं होगा ना, 5 होगा, 5. So by what percentage the train must now increase its speed? So 3s has become 5s. So this is an increase of 2/3, which is 66.66%. तो ये आपका हो जाएगा ऑप्शन ए. दिस वन मेक्स द बेस्ट सेंस. 66.66. Okay. So the question was, initially the train used to cover 1/3 in 5 minutes, 1/3 in 5, 1/3 in 5. एक दिन ट्रेन जो है बहुत आराम से चली at 1/3 of its usual speed, because of which the train reached 20 minutes late, half an hour late. So 50 minutes की जगह now the train took 45 minutes. That part was only to tell us कि 50 minutes में the train used to cover the journey. Now while coming back, 5 मिनट में 1/3 cover करना था, train covered that. But the remaining 10 minutes का journey that the train had to cover in 10 minutes, now it won't cover in 10 minutes. It has to cover in 6 minutes only because the train stopped for 4 minutes for an emergency. Scheduled time पे पहुंचना है, 6 minutes में cover करना है. So the train will have to increase its speed if it needs to reach earlier. Earlier मतलब कम duration में. Not earlier, it's actually reaching on time. So since speed and time are inversely proportional, आप इसका use करके you will get the new speed, which will be 5. 3 has to become 5. It means it needs to increase its speed by 66.66%. Option A. Right? So yeah, everyone, people who are new to BYJU'S exam prep, you can download the app, and on the home page you can click on the button which says start free trial, and you can unlock the BYJU'S exam prep app for free trial for the next 3 days. Okay. And anyone who's targeting this year's CAT, this is the last call for our online comprehensive classroom program. Okay. And our test series. If you are looking for a lot of tests for all the MBA exams, including CAT, so this is the test series for you. You get more than 80 mocks, which include 25 CAT mocks and more than 55 non-CAT. 10,000 questions for practice, 3 All India Open mock tests, video solutions, right? Everything which is the best in the market. Please meet our CAT 2022 toppers if you want to be one among them. So this is the last call to join our classroom comprehensive program, which is the online program where you are provided with previous year questions, tons of questions to solve, doubt classes, concept sessions, live sessions. Okay. All India Open Mock is going to end tomorrow. So not tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yes, it's tomorrow. Today is 16th. So everyone, please make sure that you register for this and attempt the mock as soon as possible. Okay. This will help you understand where do you stand pan India, because students from all over the country is going to write this exam. Okay. And tomorrow at 11 a.m. there is going to be a workshop to be taken by Mr. Srinivas. He is going to discuss about CAT 2024's batch, how to prepare, how to study along with your own studies, college studies, as well as job. So whatever queries you have, you can get them clarified there. Next Sunday on 23rd of September at 11 a.m. Register for this scholarship test, wherein you can avail up to 90% scholarship for our classroom programs. ACE NMAT 2023, this is going to be live. So this is a crash course that we have brought for you for NMAT to get more than 250 marks. Okay, so there will be live sessions, highly probable questions will be discussed, and section wise score boosters. So 26 September onwards, make sure that you subscribe to our channel, and every day at 7 p.m. or every alternate day you will be having these sessions. ठीक है? So a crash course आपके लिए free में है YouTube पे. Do not forget to get in touch with us through our social media channels and our Telegram group, which is BYJU'S Exam Prep for MBA. I'll see you guys again very soon with another session on LRDI or Quant.